Well, well, we've had that fight. Now the fight is over. Of course, I'm talking about the big fight the last weekend. Well, I'm glad that my prediction about a close fight came true. Uh, if if I have anything to be glad for, that is it. But I, like many others, feel that Kovalev was robbed, and for he became just the second man to knock Ward down in his professional career, and I thought that Sergey would do well, but I didn't expect him to do this well. And because he seemed to throw for the first half of the fight anyway, he was really dominant, and it took Ward quite a long time to get in the fight. Uh, you know, Kovalev, he did everything that he was supposed to do. Um, he seemed to be, lose a little steam in the late rounds, but I still think he did enough to win. And I think the comments that came from especially Virgil Hunter and also Andre Ward are quite disgraceful because they both were very disrespectful to Kovalev, and Ward said that some kind of nonsense that it would be even worse for Kovalev in the next fight. And that is a really bad choice of words because it seems to imply that he had a bad fight, which of course is absolute nonsense, absolute hogwash. Uh, he was, and Virgil Hunter, he was even worse. He was kind of he really took down and disrespected Sergei Kovalev, but I think that is because he was pissed off that his guy, he knew perhaps deep inside that his guy really didn't deserve to win this fight, and he hadn't expected it to be so even, so tough for Ward. He probably thought, I bet he expected expected Ward to just outbox Kovalev easily, and that of course didn't happen because Virgil Hunter has been really. I always thought that since Amir Khan went over to him, I thought that he was overrated. He didn't do really that much for Khan, especially in their first fights, for first two fights together. He got knocked out by Danny Garcia. It was like in the first or second fight with Virgil Hunter. Second, I think, probably. Yeah. And he really struggled to beat Julio Diaz also, who was already kind of washed up, no longer prime for sure. He almost got taken out by Julio Diaz in that fight, Amir Khan, and I think what John David Jackson, yeah, that's his name, right? Yeah, he has proven himself to be a better trainer because he was also a very slick boxer himself, while Virgil Hunter was not. And I think Virgil Hunter is just one of these kind of new self-appointed experts that we have so many of today, especially in America. We have these trainers who claim they know everything, and they are the best and or among the best, but they aren't really so good as they think. And well, what else can we say about this fight? Uh, it's just I am just now reading this article about the fight. It's written by a guy called Brian Armin Graham, and he says that he says that this wasn't really a great robbery, but more like about margins. That it could have gone either way. But I think people miss the point about what really classifies as a robbery, because any any scorecard, any judging result that doesn't reflect the true nature of the fight is a robbery. I mean, if you don't get it 100% or 99% right, then you have robbed one of the fighters, and that's just the way it is, my friends. Um, this guy thinks that Kovalev won his rounds on a mandate, whatever that means. I don't think he is really giving him that much credit, but I don't expect American sports writers to do that, because they tend to be, even though they claim they are not biased, they are. And of course, every American would rather be, or most of them, I guess, on the Ward's side. And he says that Ward won his rounds on precision punching and body work and ring generalship. And I can't really argue that, but even so, there there is no doubt. I think that Kovalev did much better work against Ward's ring generalship and defensive skills than anyone had, or most people would have anticipated or expected. Most of them, I think, most of the experts expected Ward to really, shut out or shut down Kovalev's offense, and yeah, a little music there. Uh, yeah, as I said, really few expected Kovalev to really outwork Ward like this. Everybody thought that if he had any chance to win, it would be by a knockout. But he didn't. He won the other way. He won by outlanding Ward because that's what he did. He outlanded him, and he didn't. Even though it was a close fight, definitely, but I still think Kovalev deserved to win, and it's really a disgrace that another decision uh, in a big fight in Las Vegas has to go to the homeboy to the yeah to the an American, because we have seen that happen against in other fights, like the most recent one I think was when there was a Kovalev-Ward who lost unjustly to Jesse Vargas, and there are a few others, but you just can't seem to remember them right now. Yeah. So this is a thing that really must be handled now. I think the boxing establishment should really, work on this problem because it's obvious that judges. I don't know if it's just about Vegas, but especially there, we have seen both. We have seen both questionable judging and questionable refereeing, like in the match between Abner Mares and Joseph Agbeko. If you, of course, if you have a fight with a Mexican and some foreigner, it's always the Mexican who is going to get the preferential treatment by both judges and the referee. And if it's between an American and a non-American, non-Mexican, then it's the American who gets the preferential treatment. It's the same old bullshit because they are. It was hypocrisy, I always thought, when they complained about Americans having a hard time getting a decision in Germany. But now it's the same in the USA. It's not, because in Germany that stuff has been changed now recently. It's no longer so hard for a non-German to get a decision against a German, as it used to be, because they worked on that. They were aware of that problem and they solved it. But I don't think that it's going to change in USA, not in near future anyway. I think they should move at least half these big fights out of Vegas, because I don't like the fact that everything is now centered there. Everything is about Las Vegas now in boxing. That's not good. They should move the fights back to Madison Square Garden, and those places, and they should choose always choose the same judges, because it's obvious that all the time you have these same guys judging, and often they get it wrong. They are perhaps corrupt. So that was all I had to say about that. So Kovalev, he won an award, should not really, flaunt himself out in public and say, "Yeah, I'm gonna beat him even worse next time." Yeah, yeah, all that macho bullshit. Because he can't take the fact that he, for the first time in his professional career, he struggled and he lost, and he, you know, you you might say, okay, could have been the other way, or just nicked it or whatever, but you cannot deny that he struggled, that he was in a really close fight for the first time, and that's what really eats away, a fighter can have problems with his self-confidence after a fight like this, and I think it will go the other way in the rematch. I think Kovalev will just take him apart, most likely. I hope that. So we'll just have to stand by and wait for the rematch. So long now.